Amazing.
Hmm.
Ah, yeah, yeah. Beautiful. Hmm. Wow, you've got okay, cool. Messages are coming in thick and fast, which is awesome because it just means you're so open and that you're ready and there's like a lot and yeah, you've got a lot going on around you. There's a lot of people with you. So that's interesting. Cool. I'm excited to get started.
Wonderful.
Hello, I'm Aida, by the way. Let alone the whole tribe that comes in with amazing.
Esther, as you know,
Beautiful.
yes.
I see you.
Hmm.
Amazing, my love. So how may I be of service?
Well, as you already know, the main purpose for today's connection is to get a little bit of guidance. I'm pretty good with checking in with my own soul for most of the decisions that I make, but since this particular one is dependent on a much greater collective, um, I thought I'd just check in and see if there is any particular guidance coming through in that regard. And so, very specifically to start with, I am part of this platform called MTS. It is a crypto trading platform. And it's been doing well. I've been in there for a few months now. And so, with a view to gain some extra abundance to finish a very important project that I've been dedicating myself to for the last 2 years. And so it is with a vision. And very specifically, the first three questions, all related, is should I take out my Ethereum crypto and put it in this platform? That's number one. Second one, should I take out my Bitcoin as well and put it in this platform, this MTS slash Tofro trading platform? And with that, the main question is whether this MTS Tofro foundation trading platform has a longevity to it. That is the main concern. We know that there are some risks involved, some great risks involved. Yet at this moment, it's just brought just a lot of joy and a whole new expansion in my abundance in my life, even when just 20 bucks came in, it just made me, I can breathe again. At least some funds are coming in beyond my practice because I really needed some additional funds come in. And yeah, the main question is, will MTS slash TOEFL be sustainable for the foreseeable future and potentially get a timeline on that?
Okay. Um, oh gosh, so many things. First thing I want to just say very, very briefly is I'm quite brutal. I'm very direct, and messages are always channeled with great love and respect. So that aside, the first thing I heard was no, yes, there's some hesitation there. So I'm like, I always like to go in deeper and go, well, what's wrong? Why? Where is the hesitation? I want to see everything. So the thing with this that I'm seeing about this, now I'm getting really hot. The thing with this platform, it doesn't seem to be. I've not heard of it. I'm not
No,
familiar with it. So this is
yeah,
just pure guidance from spirit right now. With this platform, there's something mm, like something is being veiled, something is not being seen, something is to me not tasting right. So you know when you get this juicy opportunity and like that should light you up. And my whole body's like, yeah, I want this opportunity. And when I connect in with that platform, I'm like, there's a hesitation in there. And I am trying to unveil what the hesitation is. And it feels like and this is what it just feels like the management of it is somehow being reined in. there's something, oh, this is good, something incongruent with this delivery system, with the platform. And so that's just me going, all right, short term right now doesn't feel what's going on. Then I want to know longevity. Okay, that could be just teething issues. It could just be short things up the front. So is it something that is going to, and I get the sense of it has massive potential. I don't care about potential. I want return on investment and I want it right now. So that's just how I work when I'm looking at investments, right?
Mm.
So I'm like, okay, well, where is the hesitation and why am I not seeing like this beautiful, clear golden pathway? Okay, so they're going, it's because of the way it's being managed presently. Like, yes, there's some big visions for it. Yes, it feels very new. So I don't know how long it's been running on, but it just feels like it's quite new. It's potentially being, and I'm getting a scattered kind of approach. So whoever is managing it, running it, and it feels like a bit of a conglomerate at the same time as one person kind of has the full reins, where it's not full focus on the projection and intention for this platform, is it feels like it's a bit of a scattered gun approach right now. So I feel like I've got this incredible tool, but so this is my phone. Good, it makes phone calls. Oh, wow, it can do this and it can do this. And I'm leaking my energy with the multiple other things that it could potentially do. And I'm not focused on the fact that let's just make it a really good phone first and then work on other things. So that's coming in. So that could just be, again, short term. I also don't want you to feel like you're missing out long term. So I feel like this is going to be, it's long term. They just said you've got to be in it for the long haul. Whilst there may be, it feels like it's a short, like I feel like I'm now like slowly walking up the hill and there's no momentum. So it's a bit of a hard slog. It's going to be a bit, yeah, times where this is interesting. I feel like it's going to require more of you than what's returned. And I get that that happens at the beginning of a business where things take a little bit more energy to build it up. However, I feel like it's going to cost you more in the long run. And whenever I hear things like that, I want to go into why. What does that mean? Is it going to like be detrimental? I feel like it's a 3 to 5 year projection. So your first question was, should I
Take my Ethereum
okay,
out and
perfect.
put
One of
it
the
in this platform.
perfect.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Again, I don't understand the trading, but I understand the question and I heard no. And I'm like, is that no right now? And they're just like, no. Okay. So I'm just trusting that when I get a solid no like that, it's like it doesn't feel in alignment for you right now to invest any further funds, energy, effort into this from that revenue stream. Because when you said the second one, it was like, oh, maybe. And I'm like, oh, okay, maybe's good. And what I also heard was not all of it. So if they're
Mm-hmm.
asking for, say, 5 grand right now, then go maybe half or something. So half of
Mm-hmm.
what you are ready and willing to put into it, maybe do half.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have questions or should I continue?
Well, it's interesting because Ethereum, I actually had decided on because that is what feels aligned with me because Ethereum has crashed. I've held Ethereum, which you may know is the main coin. Bitcoin is the main coin, and you have Ethereum. In 8 months, in 8 years, I've sat on it, hasn't made me anything,
Yeah.
nothing.
Yeah.
It's crashed. This platform has a really good return.
Yeah.
I'm holding some great visions for it. It's not my own business. So I
No.
just show up and
Yeah.
I make 2 trades a day. That's it.
Yeah.
It won't increase the effort. That's it. It remains at 2 trades a day. I push a button. I'm not a trader. I'm a therapist and a healer myself. I don't want to
Yes.
sit behind a computer more than half an hour a day
Yeah.
unless it's with my clients.
Yeah.
And so that's it.
Yeah.
I've lost money in 8 years. Bitcoin is the only coin that is making a little bit, but in all honesty, over 8 years, it's had a fivefold return. I can get that in 2 months on this platform.
Yeah.
So for me, since I'm looking to, I'm holding a vision of a next level of abundance that allows me to
Mm.
serve in
Mm.
whole new ways than
Mm.
when I, out of fear, continue to sit on my crypto, which, as I said, in 8 years hasn't delivered me
Yeah.
anything, and I don't want to sit for another 8 years on it
Yeah.
and not have anything,
Yeah.
right? So that is my thinking here.
Yeah. Beautiful. So if you're thinking of whichever to invest, I would go with the second one, not the first. That's quite clear in their messaging in terms of those two investments.
Okay.
In terms of the platform that you're using, in terms of
It's
creating abundance,
longevity. Yeah.
this feels like it's and if you are trading, then that makes sense that it is going to be for the long haul. It's something that sometimes you got to sit on a few things, sometimes you trade regularly. It's just going to take a little bit of time to build the wealth. um you know Good returns
Yeah.
sometimes, not sometimes, so that
So
is that gamble. Yeah.
yeah, and so let me, because we trade very conservatively,
Mm-hmm.
so we have a guaranteed return every day.
Mm-hmm.
That's what we're dealing with. And
Beautiful.
so my vision that I hold, let me make it even more specific. I know the return that I'm aiming for within the next 8 months.
Beautiful.
That to start with
Yeah.
would allow me to really, really make way with the vision that I hold. And
Mm.
so let me
Mm.
make it this specific. Would the platform exist for another 8 to 10 months?
I would exit at 6.
Okay. So we're
It
talking,
will
what are we now? May, June, July, August,
August,
September,
September.
October is 5 months.
Yeah.
We're talking six around November.
I would be looking at exiting end of October.
Okay.
It could just be the way that the energy is feeling right now. Will that
Right.
change around October? Potentially, with more investors, the more like
Yeah. Yeah. There's all
algorithms and
kinds
stuff.
of
But yeah,
variables. Yeah.
but right now I'm feeling like it's going to provide what you're. Oh, this is an interesting. I was going to say what you're expecting, and then I'm like, oh, there's a little bit of leeway there, but it will continue because of that guaranteed that you're talking about. So it just feels like it's going to inch forward for you. Uh, and they're just saying just monitor it, because September, October feels like shifts and changes again. There may be good, there may be like all exit stage left, revisit in 6 months. Mm.
Okay. So the main risk really that is currently held, unless suddenly a government says, shut it all down, but they've got their licenses at
Yeah.
this moment. So the main risk, which I have already experienced once before,
Mm.
some time ago, is that the founders, and there are many different um, heads, if you
Mm.
will. This is
Mm-hmm.
a multi-billion platform.
Mm-hmm.
And they run different operations in different parts of the world. So we are in the
Mm.
European aspect of it. So that gives you a bit of an idea. It's a
Mm-hmm.
it's a major network.
Mm-hmm.
The main risk, as I see it, is that the founders do a runner.
Yeah.
That is really where the risk lies.
Yeah. And that's why I'm feeling uh, this is, I feel like this is a wash, rinse, repeat that they have done numerous times, where they build something up, they get their money because they'll never lose out of it, and then they just vanish, exit, drop the bomb, so to speak. Um, like for me, I'm like, oh, okay, and then I'm like, I'm hearing a watch it, just monitor it, be mindful of it, keep your eye on the big picture just as much as what's happening day to day, because I feel like there's a little bit of not smoke and mirrors, but they're keeping you hooked, going with that little bit of return on investment that you're getting. But keep monitoring, keep zooming out, keep looking at the bigger picture. The moment that this shifts, it'd be like, okay, I got to go. Okay, this is me out. Or they can be going, actually, this is better than we anticipated. We're going to throw a bit of extra in it and we're going to hold on to it for a little bit longer. But it feels very fluid right now, which shows to me a few little flags. And
Yes.
there's always
Yeah.
that's a bit of fun and risk in it, but it's like, okay, just monitor it. You'll know. You'll know when
Right.
to monitor. Just keep an eye on it, my love.
Right. So then just to conclude, I know that the guidance says Bitcoin, yes, Ethereum, no. I'll tune into that myself
Is
a
that
little bit more
was
because
was the
yeah.
first one Bitcoin and the
No,
second
the
one
first one
Ethereum?
was Ethereum, but
Okay.
Ethereum hasn't made me anything. So I'm very inclined to take Ethereum out and keep Bitcoin in because Bitcoin is still at least has some
Yeah.
prospect.
Yeah.
Um, and so look, even if I would have another 6 months pretty solid, that would be a wonderful return already. If you feel 6 months would be pretty safe,
Mm.
then that is, a good indication. That gives me a little bit more,
Yeah.
yeah, a little bit more reassurance to
Mm.
just go ahead. Um, and yeah, look, with these things, when it happens, even though you know that there is a risk, you don't necessarily see it coming, right? These guys play it very safely, or well. But I do know that the main guy from the European division, and maybe see if you can check into that as well. His name is Harris Lee. That's all we know about him. He started this foundation 2 years ago, registered in Colorado. His integrity seems to be okay. He seems to have a certain level of integrity. So, but of course, as this is a major corporation, if you will, major foundation, he would not have a final say in whether it will go bottoms up or not. Um, I don't feel that he came in and founded this with the intent to do a runner. There is even though there's a lot of mystery around him, I do sense an essence of integrity in him. But
Mm.
once again, that's no guarantee for the
Mm.
greater,
Mm.
the longevity of the foundation as a whole.
I feel with him that he's come in blinded. He also was a little bit blindsided. So he's come in going, yeah, this is not his first rodeo either.
No, I'm sure it isn't.
Yeah. So I'm getting a few mixed messages with him, which just kind of makes me go, all right, someone who has a lot of fingers and a lot of pies wants to be able to do legitimate businesses, but also knows that there's ways around it. Smart, sometimes caught behind with his pants down, for want of a better word. So I'm getting a little bit of that with him. Is also in this probably for a 3 to 5 year time
Prospect.
frame before he makes his money and then goes on to bigger things and drops it or moves on or and see what happens from there. So that's what I get a sense with him. Yeah.
Okay.
Mm.
Thank you for that.
Oh, my pleasure.
Hmm.
Mm.
Now, I don't know whether I should ask you some of my other questions that I have, or whether you would like to share something, as you said so much was coming through already.
Beautiful. Well, I want to ensure that you get the most of this. Where there's what I'm okay. I'm feeling into you and seeing what best serves you because I feel that there's a lot that you manage, not control already. I'd like the word manage rather control. Um, Insightful. Okay, this is interesting. Because I'm usually very, very clear. So this indecision's obviously yours. It's like, do I, don't I? So and then we've clarity given a bit of clarity around that. How would you prefer us to proceed? Would you like me to share some of the things that are coming in for you? You've got
Sure.
specific questions. We can start with those.
I
And
do. I do have a
beautiful.
few.
Let's go on with those, and then we can always
Okay.
expand, my love.
Okay. And the non-clarity, I've had that with every single reader.
Okay.
And so it's, look, the other two said because I'm not human, hard to tap into my field.
No,
You know,
you're
I
very
know,
open.
Oh yeah. Not because I'm
Yeah,
not open, but I function on many different
right.
dimensions.
Yeah,
So
I've got
that
you.
is, why
I've got you,
um
my love.
some readers were a little shaken up by things, apparently.
Oh, bring it. There is
Mm.
nothing I have not seen, done, heard. I've taken people up to the 13th dimension and beyond, my love. So I can take you
Yeah,
anywhere you
yeah,
wish to
yeah.
go. Let's go. I've got you.
Good. Yeah, and it wasn't it
Oh, I
wasn't,
know.
yeah,
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 yeah.
yeah.
Full
It was
respect.
just
I
like,
completely
whoa,
see you.
so
Yeah.
much coming through. Whoa, so many mid-dimensions. Whoa, it's
I
hard to
love
get
it.
some clarity. That kind of,
Bring it.
that kind of way. It's like,
Good.
yeah.
Love it. I love it.
Well, very specific as well. I've got a recent my left shoulder has been playing up. And so I thought I haven't been I've had a very challenging 2 years. And so I haven't been looking after myself in the way that I normally do. Normally, I would have been, yoga several times a week. I run, all of that, all the good stuff, meditation. And so, in all honesty, since COVID, I have not, gone back on the mat. And I know it needs to happen. But with that, I know I don't even know what I was thinking, but I got back on a climbing wall without really any preparation. And look, I've made a few moves that potentially I didn't notice it at the time. And that is why I'm also asking this, because I've once had a tear in my tendon, in my rotator cuff before, many years ago.
Yeah. That was
And
all
I
fun.
felt that one.
Yeah.
With this one, the only way that I can think of, it must have happened on the climbing wall, but it didn't manifest until a little later when I did go on the mat for about an hour. And I thought, whoa, hold on, this is really painful.
Okay.
And I didn't have the strength. And I felt like, like really intense pain when I just put a little pressure on it. And since then, and it's been 8 months now,
Yeah.
I thought, look, if it's a tear, I give it some additional rest, 6 months, it will be fine. It's 8 months now, and there's been no improvement. And so I wonder, what is going on potentially. I am seeing a chiropractor, an osteopath tomorrow. Um, but it's really recently, that's my first osteopath
Yeah.
that I'm seeing, because for some reason I just had trust that it will all heal.
Yeah.
And then, of course, since it's not,
Yeah.
with the work that I'm doing, I go, okay, whatever the physical cause, right? Whether it was the climbing wall or not,
Mm.
what is the emotional root? Why is it not healing,
Yeah.
right? So that
Yeah.
is really the question that
Yeah.
I would like to
Yeah.
know.
Beautiful. Uh, I don't feel like it was triggered by anything that you have done. If anything, on the wall, returning to the mat, it feels like there's this energy of you have been going for so long that it's now allowing you time to receive. And it's like, well, I've got so much to do. Like I'm on my own, or like I've got to support myself. How am I like this is an issue almost? And I feel like there's a bit of and now that I'm feeling this in my heart space, and like I feel like there's a little bit of trapped grief in there. There's a little bit of now I'm wanting to hold it, my wing in and feel into this space. And I'm like, oh, there's this essence of not feeling supported, not feeling safe. And I know that that's normally the womb space, feeling safe, supported, nurtured, protected, right? But this is the energy of I've been not nurturing my feminine recently and honoring that divine space. And again, I know that that's the womb. But there's this essence of, because obviously the feminine side is the receptivity of the left, like being able to enabling yourself to receive. But I also heard very clearly hormones are starting to, you know, come into play. And my left eye is starting to tweak, which is saying, yeah, let's keep sitting into the left. And whilst we always look to the spiritual element of it, we're still humans and we're having to live this human dynamic of, yeah, unfortunately, as I've also discovered, perimenopause really messes with women. No matter how freaking spiritual we are, some of
Mm.
us still get this shoulder aspect. And I was horrified when that happened to me, because
What is
mine was
that a
2 years
common
ago.
thing for
Sorry?
premenopause? Shoulder?
Yeah,
Is that a common thing?
perimenopause. Yeah. And I spoke to a few of my shaman friends, and they're like, well, a couple of us have also experienced that once we hit 50, we were like, oh shit. And I know that
Really?
peri can start from 40. So it's like, okay. So I'm feeling for you, it's like because the whole world did this whole roller coaster with what happened in 2019, 2020, right? Whether we were in it or not, and whether we chose to believe all of that stuff or not, we were impacted by the dynamic of our surrounds. So what that has
Mm.
sent a lot of us on a roller coaster into, all right, we've been slung into this so that we can support more of those. And like, how is this supposed to support us when we're a little bit incapacitated? We're having to rest our wings. And I'm getting that sense for you. It's like resting this beautiful upper sense, nurturing it in the capacity in which you are able. Yes, sometimes it's getting some body work. Sometimes it's doing I'm feeling for you more. I know that you're in Bali and it's already hot, but the warmth and energy in and around here. Like I'm getting this sense of, I don't know what oil you're using, but I'm applying an oil on my shoulder and really nurturing and honoring this space and allowing myself to receive support, help from others. And yes, asking for the osteo, it's like that in itself is asking for others to hold you and support you and your body.
Yeah.
But I
Yeah.
don't feel like it will be much more long term for you. And dare I say 6 months, because you've already said you've been through it for six
Eight.
months.
Yeah, 8 months already.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's interesting because I hadn't made the link to the hormonal thing, but I have been, there's been some hormonal fluctuations. I'm nearly 52.
Okay.
So the whole perimenopause, I, did some practices that actually got me my period back
Yeah.
again. So that was a beautiful thing. But then I had to, do some other things. I had to, yeah, get into some hormonal treatment, unfortunately. And so, but
Mm.
that was already going on,
Yeah.
and so, yeah, it's interesting. I had no idea that what specifically of the shoulder is linked to perimenopause or menopause? Do you know?
Estrogen levels dropping. It because we carry so much and we're not so upper body strength orientated. We're more leg, and because we're nurturers, we're wanderers as a primordial energy. So we don't like men upper body, women lower body, right? So for us, it's all about nurturing lower body. So with us, when we hit perimenopause and then we all into that phase and we move into start to reduce our estrogen levels, testosterone and progesterone, and all of our other levels kind of fluctuate through our cycle each month. And when not continuing to have a cycle or it's sporadic because of our cycle hormonal changes, it our tendons no longer getting the support. They're no longer getting the hormones that they need in order to stay strong. So they weaken, they
Mm.
bristle. Obviously our bones shift and change because the density of the bone structure
Mm.
changes.
Yeah,
So this is
yeah.
where this is all shifting. And for us women, it's usually left first. In my experience, mine was left as well.
Mm.
Every woman that I've ever done some work with, it's always been their left first. Occasionally they don't have to do their right. Some of them had their right go out. Um,
Right,
but it's
right.
us holding all of this stuff on our shoulders forever. And
Yeah.
then it's
Well,
like,
especially the last 2 years on top of that. So I know there is additional stress. So, but that's interesting. That's interesting to know. And so what did you do to heal it?
mine, unfortunately, I took 2 years. It shifted when I was in Bali and I allowed myself full rest because I was actually in Bali for a whole month and I did very little for that whole month. I was under a lot of stress, but I did very little because I was not at home. So I didn't do any cleaning or any of that maintenance or cooking or anything like that. I rested. I meditated a shit ton. I did a ton of healing for myself.
Yeah, I
Thankfully, my
haven't done
partner is
that.
also a quantum healer. So,
Mm.
and then when we moved, I noticed that after Bali, turned 50 in Bali, it shifted. And now it's my right starting to twing. I'm like, no, no, not doing that again.
Mm.
Not doing that again.
Interesting.
So,
Interesting.
um, it was rest. But I, for the first year, I was still training 5 times a week, martial
Wow.
arts, like lots of other practices, gym. So it was still huge amounts of training. And it wasn't until I fully rested for 6 months did it ease, and the month in Bali, where I just went
Mm.
into a deep spiritual journey. So yeah, that's what helped shifted for me. Yeah. And
Mm.
being supported, asking for help, allowing myself to receive
Yeah.
help.
Yeah, but I've been in that. Well, on that note, then let's put that out there because I've been praying for support. I've come to a place where, yes, I have a tendency to take on much myself. I think, as an independent woman providing for herself, that's a given. Yet I'm highly, highly aware as to, where it gets out of balance in terms of the masculine and the feminine. I'm vigilant to approach things really from a deeper feminine empowerment. I've been doing this work for many, many years. But of course, nervous system wise, when you're in a very challenging situation, you still have, flare ups, right?
Mm.
And so I've come to a place specifically around one particular area in my life where I've just been in prayer and surrender for the last 8 months, approximately, you know, praying for the right support to come through. And because, I've tried every possible thing and, for some reason, it just didn't work out.
Mm.
And so that has also forced me for the last months, even though, yes, I kept following leads, but really, in all honesty, I was predominantly in a place of surrender and prayer every day. And so
Mm.
I feel that I've been very, very open to receiving. Yet, well, this is interesting. There might be a spark of hope as of yesterday, but even that I don't really want to speak out because, I've had so many people that promised to come through and to support and to help out. And in all honesty, it's been 2 years of a lot of disappointment. And with that, also some grief, the grief in trusting people, but, them
Yeah.
not following up on their promises. And even worse than that, I had to deal with almost 2 years, let's say 1.5 years now, of so much deceit and lies and betrayal and plain thievery. Um,
Mm. Mm.
and that
Mm.
in itself has just been a grieving process, more so than anything else,
Mm.
because I have lived here for nearly 10 years.
Mm.
And I've always held the locals in high regard. I know there's a dark side to Bali. You'll get to know that when you live here. It's different when you're just a tourist. But I still had faith in the people. And mind you, this pertains to a very specific field where all of that went down. So I'm not saying that the average Balinese, cannot be trusted. But whoa, um, yeah, at one point, and I'm not a person who ever goes into the victim mode, but at one point, I had like, do I have like a sign on my forehead? Come and take advantage of me, sob stories, me paying for their children in hospitals back in Java, they're running away with prepayments, never showing back up. Like I've incurred some major, major losses, and not just that, just not having the support I feel I certainly am worthy of
Mm.
in completing this project that I've dedicated the last 2 years of my life to.
Mm.
So,
Yeah.
yeah,
Mm.
why? Why has that? Because I've done a lot of clearing in terms of receiving. I know that I am ready and open to receive. I've been in that space for quite some time.
Mm. Mm.
But maybe instead of why didn't I receive it, I don't know, maybe there is maybe a more poignant insight in what else did I need to learn from this? You know, how, in what way did this shit show, excuse my language, serve me?
Mm. What kept showing up for me was, look where you are. As beautiful as Bali is perceived, you live behind the veil. As you said, you are no longer a guest of Bali, you are a resident of Bali. And as much as you are a resident of Bali, you're still a foreigner. And my love, as beautiful as you are, you're white. You are there to be taken advantage of. And with someone who comes in with such a beautiful open heart, giver, healer, protector of the realms, wants to be able to support people, they have got you pinned. This is what they do. It is still a third world country. And yes, I know that this doesn't pertain to the whole of Bali because there are beautiful people in every country, right? But this is them going, we see you, we know exactly who you are and what you're capable of. And this is what they do. They take advantage. Wow, the word that came up and was rape. And I guess what they're saying with that is they take without respect. They just take because that is just their pre-programmed, it's their conditioning, it's their belief system that, everyone comes here, well, we're here to take from you because that's just the energy of what they're in, whether they actually need it or not. They're just taking advantage. They're sitting in their victimhood. It's like the beggar on the street who's choosing to sit in that victimhood, saying more, please, regardless of whether they've got plenty or not. And this is just them taking advantage. It's like, well, why should I take out of my purse? All of these white people who choose to come live here have got more than enough, whether
Yeah.
you do or not. And often the case, it's quite reverse, right? They have a lot more than we do because it's their country, their land, and they've got it squirreled away. They're very, very smart people. And again, this is not all of Balinese, but this is what I'm feeling, that underlying energy of Bali. That's that dark seat inside of Bali, which I definitely felt when I was there. And it's like, all right, well, this is me now choosing to elevate above it and going, I see you, but I also appreciate. And then you'll start to, this is you reclaiming full sovereignty over every aspect of your being. And it's the human that is allowing, this is like the desire to be of service, the desire to prove, the desire to be liked, the desire to be lovable by everybody, which is why you go over and above as a beautiful way. And I say this with great love and respect so that the community loves you, so that you feel seen and like, I'm here for you too. Look, I'm here to help you. In fact, the more boundaries you put in, the more respect that they'll have for you, the more that they'll go, she's not one to be taken advantage of. She's here to help and support in the way that she can, but she's not here to just take advantage of us, because they will have a image of you or a projection of you regardless of what you do. So this is time for you to go, no more. I've got to serve myself.
Yeah, I set those boundaries. I've set those boundaries for sure. But the issue is that I am dependent at this moment on some real support to come through to bring this 2-year project to fruition. And I cannot do that alone. I cannot. And so much false support having moved through, right? That really just came to take advantage. I'm done.
Yeah.
I'm no longer in that reality. I set some very strong energetic boundaries.
Yeah.
But with that said, no true support has come in. And until possibly yesterday, but we'll see, because as I said, I don't even dare to fully believe it because I've been in this space for over a year. Yeah.
I don't feel that the support will come from Bali. I feel like
Yeah,
it
it
will be.
has to, darling. It has to. It
They're not
has
locals.
to.
I understand what you're saying, but there's though it's got to,
Well, the good thing is what I can say.
yeah.
Sorry, I'm
Yeah,
interrupting you
please
there.
go for it.
I'm not dealing with Balinese when it
Ah,
comes to the support.
perfect. That's what I
But
meant.
but mind
Local.
you though, yes, but mind you though, the
Yeah.
Javanese have been the biggest thieves and the biggest
Oh, 100%.
betrayers,
Okay.
right? Not even
Yeah.
the Balinese itself. This moment, what I will say, I got since yesterday potentially a new support. He is from Surabaya. So
Okay.
he's not Balinese. He's not Javanese. He's from Surabaya.
Okay.
So a different island, different religion,
Yeah.
and he's bringing in his team, which I also felt energetically for the first time in a year actually gave me hope because they seemed to be talking. They seemed to know what they were talking about, and they seemed genuine. And so, how does that feel,
Yeah.
that energy?
What I feel that you're asking for, needing, desiring is how do I don't say things nice, I just say them over and above the capacity of what is available to you. Will this gentleman and his team be able to support you? I feel again they'll may be able to kick it off for you and get it started, but it's not going to be able to see the whole project through for you or be able to even keep it going. I'm hearing that they're going to be the impetus and they're going to help you kick it off. Or even if you've got it kicked off, they're going to help you get a bit of momentum happening. I don't feel that they're going to be long term. I don't feel they have the
So,
capacity to be, or projection to be, or the foresight, or the planning, or the like what you need them to be. But they'll get you started or they'll get you going.
can I give you a little bit more specifics?
Oh, please.
I've been building 2 homes the last 2 years.
Okay.
My own home is a week away from finishing.
Like,
I have not been able to get anyone skilled and reliable enough in to finish that home that is a week away and it's been standing empty in the jungle for the last 8 months, withering away because no real skilled workers with the whole Bali boom is interested in finishing a home for a few weeks because they have another 10 to 20 projects to choose from, which obviously generate far more revenue. My other home, which is an amazing bamboo jungle home, is about 3 weeks from finishing.
mm-hmm.
Has been once again taken over. I've got 100 bats living in there at the moment. It's been a huge pain in my heart. This jungle environment is brutal, right? When you're not living in it and you don't keep it up, it just takes over. I put every penny I had, not anymore, universe,
In the past.
in the past to get this whole project going off the ground and to completion. That should not have been more than 8 to 10 months max. I'm now 2 years down the road because my original contractor did a runner. He
Failed.
took all the
Took
funds and he
took the
ran.
money and run.
Yeah, and he ran. And so this is my ordeal. So I'm looking for a team that can come in and complete these homes with me. That is what I'm looking for.
Mm. I feel there may be, will he serve you? Yes. Will he choose to come on board? I feel like if you give him an incentive, it doesn't have to be money. It could be the promise of other work or
I
the
have
promise of,
already.
yeah,
I
beautiful.
have.
I feel
Yeah.
that that may be the incentivizer. And like my first question that came through is what part of you is holding back? What part of you? And that wasn't me, my love, because I I believe that you are so deserving of this, and I want this for you desperately, desperately. So I feel that from you. And I'm like, well, what needs to be done now that this is now complete and it is
Yeah,
fulfilled,
that
and
is,
that you
yeah.
can step into the home and seeing you open that key and feeling so fulfilled and aligned and being able to be in your home and be in your space and bring in all of the alchemy in which you are here to co-create. And I can see the dream of those homes, and I can see what you're choosing to do with them, and the space and containers that you hold from those homes. So now I got goosebumps. It's like, what needs to happen in order for that to collapse timeframes, bring that forward, and now make it a reality. And the one word that just dropped in was belief. Then believe it to be so. So feel, yeah. And I feel that there's been this part of you for so long. It's like almost, well, I've had so many promises. It's like we've kissed enough frogs that where's Prince Charming, right? For to make a light of it. It's like, well, this is the belief system. It's like, it is now to be so. I am now calling in, commanding, instructing that this is now so. These homes will be complete in the next 4 weeks. They're done. They're done. I want them complete. And the moment I said that, I heard July drop in. I'm like, that's still too far for me. Like, all right, that's 2 months now. Come on. Can we not bring this even closer? And they're like, if you want it done by June 30, then you just say so. I want it done by June 30. I'm like, cool. I was actually thinking the 10th, but because we're in, what month are we in? May something?
Yeah.
I want it done in a month. So, oh my God, today's the 10th of May. Perfect. 10th of June would be amazing. Like, how can we make this so? And they're like, it is written, it is done. So the moment I said that, it's like now I'm literally writing my own contract that this is now complete. I'm receiving the keys for my new home, and I'm seeing myself turning and opening this doorway. And okay, this is cool. It's not mine, but this is me stepping into this over the threshold, and I can just feel that warmth, and I'm collapsing this time frame for you, through you, as you, calling this forth into you, so that you may have this home complete within the next 4 weeks, that you have received the keys, which you already have, but complete, livable. And then I feel, and then there's like, wait for the next challenge of cleaning it up and blah blah blah. That's aside.
Fine. Yeah.
I want this complete, done, handed over, signed off. I've just signed it off, done. And then the amount of gratitude and energy that's flowing through now, it's like, oh, yes, it is done. The alchemy has complete. Let it be so.
Love it.
Mm.
Mm.
Mm. May the next time I visit Bali be in one of your beautiful homes.
Thank you. Thank you.
I would love that.
It will be an absolute delight and honor to receive you, Danny.
Thank you.
Mm.
Let it be
Yeah.
so.
Let it be so.
It is done. I have spoken. You have spoken. This is something better.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
I do keep the trust. I do. I do keep holding on to that vision very, very strongly. It's the only thing that's seen me through. Because as a woman alone, building 2 homes with all the shit I had to endure, you have to keep that vision strong, because otherwise, jump on a plane to Thailand, right? And let it go.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, but also I feel, the service, right? The home, but I also have, and that's where the platform comes in, with the vision that I hold for this new level of abundance, I am able to extend that space. I can buy the land around me, whether I end up developing it or not. For now, it's to preserve the jungle. Yeah. That to me, that alone, that vision, that thought just, overflows me with just so much inspiration, but also deep, deep gratitude, and the preservation of a land that I have dwelled on many times, I know within my soul. And it's interesting, when my soul guided me back to Bali 20 years ago, I didn't settle here permanently until 25 years, 10 years ago, but I've been coming here, for 20 years. The moment I set foot in Ubud specifically, my soul knew it had come home. And I have that in a few places in the world, but this was the only place where I felt called to really build, you know, and it was always my connection with the land that drove me. Not necessarily with, you know, the temples and all the rituals that they have. It's the land that speaks to me so, so deeply. And therefore, because I was so strongly guided to this specific plot of land, call me ignorant, and I know any building project in any country, not just in Bali, you know, will drive people insane. I have friends in Australia going through the same shit. So it isn't just, you know, Bali, but for some reason I thought with this energy and with this, you know, frequency and with this intention, and it's so pure and it is just so beautiful and it's so loving and it's so, you know, inclusive of how I want to serve and give back as well. This will be a smooth ride. That's what I thought. And oh my God.
And the
yeah.
thing through that was you were not being supported.
Yes.
You.
Yes. It's
Where is your
true.
mentor? Where is your guide? Where is the one that was holding you? Because you were holding everyone and everything and the housing project and doing all the work. And
Yeah.
like and like I said, I'm pretty brutal. Whereas there was no support of you through all of this, no nurturing of you, no guidance for you through all of this. And whilst you may have been receiving it, of course, but then we still need that human accountability, support, mentorship. That's like, I've got you. I've got you. So you felt like you had to hold all of the capacity.
Yeah, but I mean, you then have to find that within yourself, right? Where you're holding yourself, because I can't just, right, conjure up the right support. I mean, you know, I have some dear friends, but they really got no clue what I've been through because, you know, their mind is on different things. And in all honesty, you don't want to go into the whole building scenario thing. Um, and so, you know, in some ways, I felt it was a reflection on a lifelong theme that I have done a lot of healing around. But it's, as you know, with certain themes that we need to grow and learn, you know, expand around in you know, different lifetimes. It's not that that theme is done and over with once you heal them in a particular way, right? It will show up in a different way. And then let's see how you can grow and expand around it, right? And so my theme that I have, you know, seen play out several times in my life, and as I said, have done a lot of healing around and I have a lot of awareness around, is not being supported by the masculine.
100%.
Specifically the masculine.
Yeah. 100%.
Right?
I can see that.
And yet, I was like, well, how can I shift that? Because I'm not right. I've healed it with that particular relationship. I healed it with him. I healed it with that. I healed it with, I'm in a pretty good space. And now I've got a bloody contractor, right? That betrays me. And not just one, three. And so here we go again. It's the masculine again that I trust. I'm fully open to being supported, yet for some reason, you know, it doesn't show up. And that's not to feel sorry for myself, but it's an interesting process where you go, okay, it would be great, soul, spirit, if I could shift that, you know, within this field too. It's not that I know I'm worthy. I know I am worthy. I know I'm deserving. So what is that? I wonder. Maybe let's put that one out as well. Is that still unresolved past life? What is that?
Not feeling past life. I am. We've all heard this before. You know, it is that relationship with the father. And not only is it just every relationship with every masculine we've had since, but it's also allowing ourself to be divinely held by our inner masculine. Do you trust your inner masculine, the masculine side of you, the divine light masculine to be your provider, to be your defender, to be your supporter, to loving you, keep you safe, nurtured, supported, and protected. Because at the moment, you're stepping into the alpha feminine, and your feminine is driving that. She's the one who's organizing the building works, and she's the one who is doing the programming to be able to do the investing and returns on investments. But it's like still having that little inner battle of the, your left shoulder saying, please, I'm ready to surrender into this. And it's okay. I'm just getting doing some wound healing, maybe doing a de-armoring in and around the space of surrendering and cutting all karmic ties across all time, space, dimension, and reality with every masculine energy in which you've encountered, including Father, across all time, space. And then allowing that embodiment of honoring, meeting yourself here and now, saying, I see you, feel you, as you have done many times. Yeah. And now sitting into the light feminine. So the moment you want to step into action, doing, it's like leaning back in and going, how can I be supported in this? Where can I show up in this? Or how do I be in this position? Because of course we always want to do. It's like now it's taking that step back and allowing someone else to show up for you. I feel with this is interesting, with the contractor, let him see your feminine, not because he wants to take advantage of you, but he'll want to step up and go, oh, here's a damsel in distress. I need to support her. I need to help her. Apply to that side of him, which isn't manipulative, darling, because I'm not talking manipulation.
I know exactly
I'm just saying,
what you mean.
I just want to be in my feminine and allow myself to be supported now. I'm asking for support and I'm not needing it from anyone or anything externally because I've got this, but I also don't want to have to hold myself in this. So this is what I need. Can you do this for me? If not, I'm sure I'll be able to find 100 others to replace you in a moment. I can see this. I can see the layers that you have peeled off and healed and done. And yes, of course, every time we enter another connection, we get to learn another development of it, right? But it's allowing yourself to just be held. And this is, again, just asking for that help and support. Showing up as primarily the femme, not the independent woman who can do it all. Because, yeah, that's okay. Just stepping back
I've got nothing to prove, honestly. I've honestly, I've been in prayer for months, very much in my feminine, because there was no action to take anymore, because I've tried it all, right? But after 6 months of being in prayer and saying, look, I'm open to receiving, that's all I would do. Meditations out in nature. I haven't taken any action. There was nothing there. It's like, spirits of the land, Mama Gaia, Mama Bali, right?
Yeah, Mama Bali.
I am so open to receiving. I trust that you bring the right support. This has been my prayer for 6 months and nothing. So, right, you go, and yesterday when I met this contractor and I said, oh my God, I was very much like, I need you. Please. I played very much the damsel in distress. And yeah, let's see. It's been an interesting journey, and I don't know what other sides I can still I don't know, reclaim in order to shift this. I'm even thinking, I don't know, I've always felt that I had a really good connection with the spirits of the land. But then there was a part of me that thought, oh my God, did someone place a curse on me? Is that what is happening? I've apparently had some curses, which I don't really want to give any power to. And supposedly to shamans, they've been removed. But, one curse pertained to whenever I expand to a next level, which very much these homes are, an ancient curse of, when I was in, a powerful healer, God knows what other dimension, how long ago, we know it doesn't really work like that, time-wise. But anyway, um, where if I became too visible or too successful or too
Yeah.
expensive, the curse would kick in and it would sabotage everything around me. And look, once again, I've dealt with that. It
Yeah.
popped up in
There's
my life, several times where I was made aware of it. And I said, look, I'm not going to give my power away to any curse. I've
no.
right connected with two shamans that claimed they had removed it. But after a year of sabotage, 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 you
Mm.
start to wonder, holy shit, am I
Mm.
cursed again for some
You know,
reason?
um, as much as you connect with Mama Bali, connect with the father and the masculine of Bali too. There's this, I can't even, is it Mount Baku that's in Bali?
It's Agung is feminine and Mount Batur is
Batur.
masculine, or it's the
No,
other way around. I have to look it up.
no, you're
I think
right. It's
maybe
Batur.
Agung is masculine.
No, it's Batur because I went and visited Batur when we were there, and it's a
Yeah,
very masculine. And if you don't ask
yeah,
permission before
yeah,
walking on his land, he gets pissed. Like
yeah.
he shows up quite firmly. So I was very mindful of seeking his permission. Um, and for you, it's maybe just because you're so connecting with Mama Bali, it's like, all right, get down, forehead to the earth, connect with him,
Mm.
surrender
Mm.
to him, because we do it all above and we do it to Mama below. But we've got to honor the masculine energy. Like in Australia, I did it to the rainbow serpent in Uluru, right? I connected to that
Mm.
earth. And the moment that happened, holy shit, my whole world just exploded. And
Oh,
yes, of course, we'll
wow.
go through things like this too, right? Forehead to the earth, connect with him. You'll feel him like he's quite aggressive, but the moment he sees you with a pure heart and what you're there to do, he's he's actually just a very powerful protector. He's
Mm.
just seeing what his people are doing as well. So
Mm.
he'll fall. He's like he's almost got the energy of Hades. It's just that
Right,
he can be dark and
right.
strong, but oh my gosh, like just so powerful and beautiful and loving and nurturing and protective and all of the things that we want our divine masculine to be.
Mm.
Connect in
Yeah,
with him. Watch
beautiful.
him move mountains literally for you. Mm.
I like that. I really like
Mm.
that idea. And you think specifically to the spirit of the mountain, yeah?
Yeah,
In that
just
regard.
collective
Or do
with
you have
him.
anything else masculine coming through in relation to Bali?
I know that you've been calling in your divine counterpart. He's not Balinese, of course, he's not local. I feel like he'll be visiting. I'm not hearing anything till later in the year, September onwards. He may be visiting. It feels serendipitous, which is quite interesting that you
Are we
connect
talking about masculine
for you.
for me personally?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
oh,
yeah,
okay.
yeah. A little divine counterpart for you, but I feel like it's, you know, you've done enough work. There's nothing to do. They're making that very, very clear. But I feel like it'll be later in the year. He's not a resident. It's a visit. It will be, like I said, serendipitous. So it's interesting that that came in. Just allow it to come naturally. It's like, yeah, it's nice to feel needed, wanted, nurtured, protected. You'll have that from the land moving forward once you connect with Daddy Bali.
Mm.
Um, that will come through. Hmm.
And is it something that has longevity? Because I'm not a short-term girl at all.
No, you make that very clear, but I can hear that on meeting him. You'll feel that connection, and it'll be, I'm not here for a fun time. I'm here for a long time. It's like, I'm not here for a good time. I'm here for a long time, but I want both. Uh, I feel it's such a powerful connection. And because he's not local, they'll be like, oh, he's only here for a couple of weeks and there's no point in getting involved. All the stories we tell ourselves, because I can hear this right now, he'll be back and forth, but he'll be very supportive of you. They're just saying, leave it at that.
Wonderful.
That's all they want to share with you for now because they don't want you going, oh, it's just too hard because he's
No,
not
no,
going to
no.
just,
No.
yeah,
I'm not in terms of too hard.
no,
I have no issues with coming and going. I've
he'll
been
make
through
it
it all.
work. He'll
But
make it
there's
work.
just that you feel that is interesting, because I didn't even
No,
put
I know
that
it was
in
on your
because
card.
I've been single. I've been single
Yeah.
for since 2008,
Yeah, I was gonna say 5 or 6 years. Yeah.
17 years.
Yeah. Oh, 2008. Okay.
I've been single and have not, I've had in those 17 years, two very brief explorations that I thought might have potential
Yeah.
for a longer period, but it turned out very quickly that it wasn't. So for me, since I'm a long-term girl, 3, 4 months is just to me a romantic exploration to see if there is enough
Yeah.
compatibility. So I don't even count them. So really, in all honesty,
Yeah.
it's been 17 years.
Mm. Time.
Mm.
Time
What's
for you to
that?
let it's time for you to let the masculine show up.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
at the same time, just very, very open,
Yeah.
very
Beautiful.
open. But yeah, just look, when you've done a lot of work on yourself and you're, you know, um, let's say a child of the world, you're not bound to any, true confinements of
Yeah.
fears. Doesn't mean that you don't have fears, but
Yeah.
you don't let them, right,
Yeah.
hold you
Beautiful.
back in life.
Mm.
That's been my approach for life most of my life. I've never had
Mm.
much security, so I always had to find it within.
Mm.
And that's become a beautiful, thank God, a beautiful foundation and second nature. But with that, since you've done so much work to be in such a good space,
Mm.
aside from, all the building stuff
Yeah.
that I had to navigate within, in all honesty, energetically, and that I don't mean that in any um,
Mm.
what's the word? Gosh, I'm just drawing a blank, in any superior way, not at all.
Yeah.
But you look for true alignment, and
Mm.
you well, look, but you're calling in
Yeah.
a man who really knows what it means to be in his masculine. Because otherwise,
Good.
you know,
Yeah. Not
I
gonna.
lose interest very quickly.
Yeah.
And the last thing I want is to become someone's therapist, right?
Oh,
Been there, done that. When that wound wasn't healed yet, playing the savior, never again.
yeah.
And so that's all dealt with. But to have a man who actually is able to show up and say, "Hey, I got you,"
Mm.
and there is some romantic and
Yeah.
and physical attraction as well, because
Yeah.
I've got a beautiful man in my life,
Mm.
beautiful man, and he has been an amazing support in so many ways, but I'm not
Yeah.
physically attracted to him.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so, but thank God for him, because he definitely, has been just such a gift.
He's a good friend.
Wow. Such a dear friend. But yeah, the whole romantic thing, and I'm sure that's what a lot of people ask about. I hadn't even crossed my mind because it's been so long. And that's why, as when you said, because when I asked, you specifically see me, focusing on the mountain as the masculine energy,
Mm.
which I actually love because I'm a huge mountain person.
Beautiful.
I'm not an ocean. That's why I'm in the jungle here, and there's some
Yeah.
hills, but I love mountain energy.
Mm.
I got
Yeah.
married in Nepal, because of the mountains. And so when I said, is there any other symbol coming through that I potentially could use as the connection of the masculine energy in
Yeah.
Bali? And when you then said, yeah, I see someone come in,
I
I
know
was
he
like,
came in. He came in quickly. Uh, in terms of symbology, it's like he doesn't need anything. He doesn't want anything other than just trust and surrender. I just feel like I want to get my hands on the dirt, my forehead on the dirt, and that's all he'll need of you, all he'll want of you.
the masculine here.
The
Yeah. Mount
masculine.
Batur, so to speak, or let's say the masculine that would hear.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
All he's
Thank you.
asking from you.
Yeah, thank you. Okay.
Mm.
And I like that. I'm gonna connect with that.
Mm.
Um, and when did you say that person might potentially flow in?
Later in the year, around September.
Oh, okay. Oh.
Hmm.
Any idea about nationality?
Um, so I was trying to connect in where he flew in from. It's not Australia. I'm feeling more
No, no, no,
European.
no. Can't do Australians. Sorry.
Neither
I
can
love
I.
them, my dear friends are Australians, but romantically it's not going to
Yeah.
happen.
Um,
No Russians either.
no.
That's all I'll say.
It's funny. I'm getting, and I don't want to be like, I feel like he's flying in from across Europe, but I don't feel like that's his nationality. He may be, he may even, he's not, is he Brit? No, he's not British. They just said very, very clear he's not British.
Oh,
But he could be
I love
American, but he's not there. He's more, oh, I was going to say more cultured. I mean that with great love and respect, more aware, but he's not living there. He's closer to Bali and he frequently could be. Oh my gosh, okay. They're saying stop looking out for him. He'll just turn up.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. No, I'm not
I
looking
know.
out. That's just,
It's like, okay,
just
I'm curious.
curiosity.
This is me going, what's he look like? And they're showing me like a beautiful masculine, like energetically. He feels like peace, calm, knows himself,
Yes,
entrepreneurial, runs his own
yes,
business,
yes.
can literally work from anywhere in the world, chooses another global pilgrim that chooses wherever he wants to live. He can literally just work from anywhere, has residences, but is happily going, this is where you are, and I'll meet you there. Hmm.
Wonderful, wonderful.
Very clear.
Well,
Yeah.
thank you so much. That's a
That's
wonderful way to conclude our session today.
that's a pleasure. Unexpectedly, but beautifully at the same time. Thank
Thank you.
you.
I really, really appreciate your time and your
Yeah.
beautiful energy and guidance.
Mm.
I'm gonna aim for those 6 months, but you did for that project, but you did
Yeah.
feel a stronger 3 to 5 year term come through as well, right?
Yeah.
In the field. So it's not necessarily just done and dusted in 6 months.
I'm hearing, and as we revisit it, I'm hearing be mindful. There will be a shift in the next. Okay, they just said 3 to 5 because I think that's what you were saying. They are saying around that 6 month mark. So towards the end of the year, October, November. So be mindful of
Yeah.
what shifts and changes are happening in and around there. There may, okay, now that we're talking work again, there may be another opportunity for you. Now there's this whole sense of alignment for your vision, for you to step into that power, which this then becomes this little side revenue stream, which is what you're ideally setting it up to be. But your
Yeah,
full main,
but
like
this is a big
energetic,
revenue.
yeah,
This
will
is
be
a big
coming through
revenue.
by then. And then whether that's something that you want to continue to, but I do also feel not just from your own energy field into monitoring that, but there will be a shift in how it's being run, managed, overseen, the dynamics of how that platform is being used. So just being mindful around that October mark.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay, okay. So yeah, just to be clear at this moment, even though it started small, the potential is huge. And so why I'm mentioning with this new, if I were to, so I already have a fund in, right? But obviously I'm asking about to change the crypto into this fund
Yeah.
is because the vision that I hold, if I were to put both coins in, Ethereum and Bitcoin, I would have, if it sustains itself, $2 million in 8 months. That is the potential.
Mm.
That is the vision I'm holding. I can buy my whole plot of land and I can build a healing center in the future if I want to. So that is the actual vision.
And when I ask again, should you sell Ethereum? I'm getting not in this moment.
Ethereum is worth nothing at the moment.
Check in a week. Check it right now. I'm asking in this moment. Will this shift in the next 4 weeks? Yes. Okay. Maybe it's just a matter of timing
Right.
because we're asking now. Should she shift this money now? I'm hearing no,
Maybe because it might have a little influx and maybe I
which will
get a
serve
little,
you.
yeah, which would serve me before I take it out. Maybe, but that's the only thing I can think of. All
And the
right.
10th of June came in earlier, so just monitor it over the next few weeks. So, uh, and then once you receive the keys to your home, you'll feel lighter, you'll feel more open, that will drop in, and then, okay, there's the money to shift and change. So it could just be that little tweak in timing. Mm.
Thank you again.
My
Really,
pleasure.
really
My
appreciate
absolute pleasure.
it.
It
Have a
was such a
beautiful
pleasure to
evening.
connect with you and meet you. So thank you for reaching out. It's been an honor. I
And
love
yes, please let me know when you're heading, towards our beloved island.
Yeah,
I'd
I will
be
most definitely. It's been
delighted
a
to host you.
thank you. It's been a pleasure connecting with you. So yeah, I would love to do that again. It'd be beautiful. Mm.
Bye for now.
Much love. I'll send you this recording once it's downloaded, probably tomorrow at this stage or Monday.
No rush. Thank
Okay.
you. I
Thank you, my
appreciate
love.
it.
Much
Bye.
love. Okay, bye-bye.